Chapter 1. The Explosion. One evening, on a quiet neighborhood street, an older man in a long, tattered coat sauntered up to the front door of a modest yet lovely home. He knocked on the door 3 times with smacks from a rubber mallet. A woman with black curly hair wearing a bathrobe opened the door.
Paul, what on earth are you doing here?
It's your brother, Dolores.
Jerry, what's wrong with Jerry?
Well, he's died. Both Kerry and him, they're both gone.
Heavens no, but what about the boy, Larry?
With a sense of anticipation, Paul slowly opened his coat, revealing a precious bundle nestled at his chest. The soft coos of a baby filled the chilly night air, stirring a mixture of curiosity and concern in Dolores's heart.
Out of harm's way, but he can't stay with me.
Dolores reached out and took the baby from Paul's embrace, cradling the tiny form in her arms. The baby's eyes, green with flecks of gold, caught her attention. They were just like her brother's.
What happened to his face? There's a deep red burn mark above his eye here.
It's from the explosion, same one that killed Jerry. Somehow he survived with only this small burn mark on his forehead.
Wait, what?
No time. It's too much of a story. I must get back to the school and ensure the other children are safe.
I feel like you're leaving out some important details, Paul.
With a stumble and a sway, Paul made his way off the front stoop of Dolores's home and approached a magnificent hot air balloon made up of a patchwork of colourful parachutes. As he stepped into the weathered basket, Paul pulled out a large blowtorch and began firing it off into the balloon, the flames leaping and dancing with a fierce intensity. With the baby still in her arms, Dolores ran out to the balloon as it started to lift off into the sky.
So long, Dolores.
Wait, what happened to my brother?
The basket carrying Paul crashed into Dolores's roof, almost spilling him out. His body was thrown from the basket, but he managed to grab onto the side with his left hand while holding onto his blowtorch with his right foot.
About 2 hours ago, there was a huge dumpster fire, took out the whole building. Worst junkyard accident in junker history.
Paul heaved himself back into the basket and fired up the blowtorch. The hot air balloon slowly lifted off into the darkening sky, leaving Dolores standing alone in her yard, cradling her brother's baby in her arms. As the sun sank below the horizon, the sky turned dark, and Dolores felt a deep sense of loss and confusion wash over her. Chapter 2. Larry's Birthday. 10 years later, the front door suddenly creaked open, revealing a rotund man with bushy grey whiskers and a fancy shirt held in place by suspenders. His bulky frame filled the doorway. Ash sauntered inside, a small paper bag clutched in one meaty hand. His beard seemed to have a life of its own. Ash absent-mindedly tugged at it while surveying the room with a pair of beady, curious eyes.
Hey, Dolores, I'm back!
As he shuffled through the living room toward the kitchen, he stopped suddenly with a shock when he noticed the TV.
Dolores, why is the TV working?
Dolores poked her head in through the kitchen doorway.
Oh yeah, well I tried to tell him not to, but Theo wanted to watch his show, and it just happened so quickly.
The sound of a clock chiming echoed through the house.
Was that the clock? Is it working again?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
A gust of wind blew through the open window, causing the curtains to flutter wildly. He marched over to the window and inspected it with a scowl.
The window has been fixed.
Oh, well, I don't know how that happened.
Are you saying Larry fixed the TV again, the clock, and managed to fix the window within the last couple of hours?
I tried to stop it, but he fixed it before I could.
Dolores, please tell me the faucet is still leaking.
I'm sure it is, John.
We agreed we would just buy a new TV.
I know, dear, I know, and we still can.
What's the point?
John strolled into the kitchen, studying the room for any new surprises.
Where are the boys?
I think they're in the backyard, playing with the new stuff we got them for his birthday.
Oh, goody. I'm glad to hear he is enjoying his new toys.
Yes, dear, I believe he really enjoys them.
With a content smile, John moved to the window to watch the boys play.
Good heavens, Dolores, what on earth are they building out there?
I haven't the slightest idea.
John burst out of the house into the backyard, with a face so red it looked like a ripe tomato about to burst.
Are you building again? You said you wouldn't. You promised me.
Larry stood tall on his pirate ship, floating proudly in the middle of the pool. The ship was a sight to behold, with its makeshift cannon, a wobbly plank, and sails made of colourful sheets and tarps. The hull of the ship was built from scrap wood, old trash cans, and even a few items from the neighbour's recycling bin.
This is more of a craft than a build.
Yeah, this is more of a craft.
Theo, I will talk to you in a minute. What about the TV, Larry?
Right, the TV.
And the clock, and the window in the living room. It's like new.
I forgot about that. After I fixed the faucet upstairs.
You did what?
It's my 11th birthday. I feel like he should get to fix things and make things. It makes me happy.
Yeah, Dad, it's the one thing that gives him joy. I mean, his parents are dead.
Thanks for bringing that up on my birthday.
Dolores strolls up behind John and gently rubs his shoulders, kneading the tension from his muscles.
John dear, it's his special day after all. He only turns 11 once.
He turns every age once, Dolores. But he promised me. He said he would stop being so handy around the house.
Well, this isn't in the house, dear.
Why can't he be like a normal kid and break things and not fix everything he touches? If he isn't fixing things, he's turning garbage into useful, cooler stuff.
I know, dear, and that really bugs you.
It's not just me, Dolores. You know I'm the mayor of this fine town, and if it gets out that we are raising someone who can fix things and repurpose things, I'll be run out of town. We need people to buy new things. It creates jobs and opportunities.
I don't think everyone is as concerned about it as you are, dear.
The doorbell sounded off from inside the house.
I wonder who it could be.
I'll get it. Dolores, can you please get these boys to stop making things?
Oh, John, it's a part of their nature.
John and Dolores look back at the pool where Larry was raising a pirate flag on a newly installed flagpole. The ship now painted to look more like a proper pirate ship.
Where did they get all that paint, and how do they work so fast?
John, get the door.
John shuffled up to the front door and swung it open, revealing a peculiar sight before him. Standing there was a short man in a tattered chef's outfit, his attire telling stories of countless culinary adventures. A bushy beard, speckled with remnants of food, adorned his face, and an eye patch concealed one of his eyes. He raised his only arm to present a weathered, oversized letter, its edges frayed and worn from time.
What trash heap did you climb off, and what are you doing at my front door?
Name's Chef, and I ain't from a trash heap, you tosser. I live on a scrapyard. Where's the boy, Larry?
Larry, what do you want with Larry?
I got a letter for the boy. It's from Paul. You dumb rusty wrench.
Paul? Who's Paul? Why is he trying to contact Larry?
Chef handed the large envelope to John.
It's his acceptance letter for the Sawdust Academy.
John slammed the door and jogged back to the pool. John hurriedly stepped out of the back door, his face flushed and cheeks tinged with a rosy hue. His breath came in short, hurried gasps, indicating his flustered state.
Who was it? What's that in your hand? Why do you look so flustered?
John handed the letter to Dolores, who took it with a sense of intrigue. With a puzzled expression, she carefully opened the envelope and began to read the contents inside. As her eyes scanned the words on the page, a furrow formed on her brow, and a hint of concern slowly spread across her face.
Well, we knew this might happen someday.
No, this is not happening. Boys, get your clothes on. I am taking the family on a surprise vacation at the beach.
What? John, that's a little much, don't you think?
Some fresh coastal air should help put a shine on Larry's special day. Plus, we need to get away from those freaks.
They're not freaks, John. They're just different.
Dad, who are you talking about?
Oh, never mind, Theo.
Is it them trash people who you're always trash-talking?
Well, I call them trash traders, not trash people, Theo. But it's complicated. Now go get your stuff. I want to get out of here. ASAP.
All right, I don't really need to pack. I already got my tools on me.
No, you're leaving your tools. Just bring clothes, toys, video games, candy, anything but tools. You hear me, Larry?
All right, Uncle John. I was mostly kidding anyway. Mostly.
So can we bring the pool?
Now how would that work, Theo?
I don't know. Some magic, newly awakened from the underworld.
What? You're watching too much YouTube.